Hello and a very warm welcome to Guangzhou. It's a city that's steeped in history and so traditional crafts culture and the famous local delicacies are all commonplace. It's also known as the City of Flowers and famed for the iconic Canton Tower, but it is also a city that this week has played host to the best badminton players on the planet. So as darkness descends outside, we return to the Tianhe Gymnasium for the second session on day 4 at the HSBC BWF World Tour Finals. This, the season-ending championship, is the culmination of World Tour events that have spanned the globe, from America to Europe to Asia and Oceania. And it was just the top 8 players and pairs in each of the 5 disciplines who were invited to the end-of-year finale here in Guangzhou. Well, this is the magnificent trophy the players are playing for this week, made by Royal Selangor. The design is based on the famous Canton Tower, but it's not just the trophy at stake. There's also a total prize fund of $1.5 million, the biggest purse ever at a BWF event. So after 3 days of round-robin group play, those 8 players and pairs have been whittled down to just 4 in each discipline, because today is semi-finals day. 5 semi-finals were played in this afternoon session, and tonight we start with women's doubles, and it's actually a repeat of a group match from 2 days ago. Li So-hee and Shin Sang-chang, the winners of the Fuzhou China Open, up against the world champions Matsumoto and Nagahara. Then it's men's singles, and the former world #1 Son Wan-ho is up against the current world #1 Kento Momota, the world champion and winner of the end-of-year finale in Dubai 3 years ago. Then it's the first of the men's doubles, and the European champions Kim Astrup and Anders Rasmussen up against the winners of the Korean Open, Hiroyuki Endo and Yuta Watanabe. Then the second of the men's doubles, and Lee Junhui and Liu Chen, the World Championship gold medalists, are up against the World Championship bronze medalists, Chen Hongling and Wang Qilin. And they are making history today as the first men's doubles pair from Chinese Taipei to reach the semi-final at the end-of-year finale. Then we finish with the second of the women's doubles, and it's the Olympic champions Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi up against the young Chinese pair of Du Yue and Li Hyun-wei. Well, the players will be waiting backstage, the nervous final moments before they are brought on to center stage. They're the Koreans, who are each making their 3rd appearance here at the end-of-year finale, but the first as a pair. And for the world champions, this is their 1st appearance. And when you consider at the start of the year, they didn't even make the Uber Cup squad. By the end of the year, they're world champions. And of course, they're in the semi-final today. Now, as far as these 2 pairs are concerned, they both came from a Group B. And the world champions, the #2 seeds, it was quite simple, this group. Some of the groups have been very complicated to work out all the different permutations of who could qualify for the semi-final knockout stage. This was simple because the world champions won all 3 of their matches. Li and Shin won 2 of their matches. Kitty Harukan and Prajongjai, 1 of their matches. And the Stoyeva sisters, well, they didn't win a match, but how wonderful to see the Bulgarian pair at their first ever World Tour Finals. So the group was pretty simple, and these 2 pairs played against each other, as I say, on Thursday. Well, this is the draw. The Olympic champions are right at the top, but we're going to concentrate first of all with the world champions at the bottom half of the draw. The #2 seeds, Matsumoto and Wakana Nagahara, up against the #5 seeds, Li So-hee and Shin Sang-chan. And as far as the Koreans are concerned, well, they've been in 3 World Tour tournament finals this year, winning 1 of them, the Fuzhou China Open, as I was saying. For their opponents, they have been in 5 World Tour tournament finals, winning 2, the Spain Masters and the French Super 750. So 2 pairs that have been doing extremely well on the World Tour this year. The countdown is on. And now the players will be welcomed to the arena.
Please put your hands together and welcome our players onto the main court.
So, first the Koreans come on to centre stage, accompanied by the mascots, the Chinese youngsters.
Session 2, today game 4, the women's doubles semi-final, with world number 7, Lee So-hee, Shin Sang-chan from Korea, versus...
Well, this Korean pair, both players hugely experienced in world terms, but it was only a little over a year ago that they reformed their partnership, having played together hugely successfully as juniors. Well, this will be the 5th meeting between these two pairs. And yes, that's not quite right, that statistic here, because they did actually meet 2 days ago. And it was Matsumoto and Nagahara that won the group encounter in 3 games, an hour and 19 minutes it was. 21-18, 20-22, 21-17. So in fact, the head-to-head is actually 3-1 in favour of the Koreans. And until last Thursday, the Koreans had never lost to their opponents of today. Well, Lee So-hee is 24 years of age, and she is appearing in her 2nd semi-final at the end of season championships, because 2 years ago she reached the semi-final with Jang Ye-na. They lost out to Cheng Ching-cheng and Ja Yi-fan, who went on to win the title. And it's with that partner Chang Ye-na with whom she's been ranked highest in the world, 2 in fact. And Shin Sang-chan, who turned 24 11 days ago. She also has been as high as 2 in the world ranking with her former partner Jung Kyung-eun, with whom she won the Olympic bronze medal. But as a pair, they have been 1 place higher than their current number 7 in the world ranking. And as I say, making their first appearance as a combination. 2 of their 3 matches, losing to their opponents of today in the 2nd of their group matches, but had to fight all the way. Yesterday evening, it was the last match on court against the European champions, the Stoyeva sisters. So, as far as the Japanese pair is concerned, this is Mayu Matsumoto, 23 years of age. Her partner won't turn 23 until next month. They're currently enjoying their 5th consecutive week at their career high of number 3. And as we saw from the group standings after the round-robin stage of this competition, they played 3 matches, won 3 matches. In fact, they only dropped 1 game, and that was against their opponents of today. So, Morten, given the complexity of having to play twice in a couple of days and the psychological effect of that, because of course the semi-finals are drawn from the top 2 in each group, it's difficult to judge who's favourite for this.
I don't think we have a favourite, honestly. I think it's very, very close. And also the group match result is kind of hinting that. So it was very close, 3 games. And I think it will be very close today as well.
So we see our court officials, Hao Long-hu and Ivo Castle.
On my right, Shin Sang-chan and Lee So-hee, Korea. And on my left, Mayu Matsumoto, Wakanda, Nagahara, Japan. Mayu Matsumoto, level play.
So the Korean pair who won a bronze medal at the World Championships 4 years ago and then went their separate ways, and both were highly successful with their more experienced partners. Now back together again. And they've won the last 2 tournaments. I beg your pardon, they've been in the final of the last 3 tournaments they've played. Winning the Fuzhou China Open, beaten in the final in Hong Kong, and then beaten in the final of the Korea Masters. So they are a pair that have come into form just in time for these World Tour finals. Just wide. And Morton, before we really start getting into the match and the
Yes.
tactics and so on, we've got to make comment about the women's doubles, the 8 pairs that qualified, the fact that we had 4 pairs who have major titles, gold medals, the Olympic champions, the world champions, the Asian Games gold medalists, and the European champions. It was a pretty special lineup for the women's doubles.
It was very strong, but still there was a few pairs missing, if I may say so.
World number one, of course.
World number 1 was missing because of the fact that you can only play 2 entries from every nation. So in the race to Guangzhou here, Japan had number 1, 2, and 3.
That's right.
So they chose number 1, and this pair here was number 3. But because they were world champions, qualified automatically.
Yeah. But in fact, the Olympic champions that we will be seeing a little later, Matsutomo and Takahashi, the only Olympic champions that actually qualified. Well, not qualified because we had Carolina Marin qualified, but she didn't come because of injury problems. So the only Olympic champions. So 2 years on, it can be big changes.
There are big changes going on all the time, and of course the new qualifications for the Olympics 2020 is starting in May next year, so it's getting very, very close.
Oh, it's landed in. Now, Morton, you and I have noticed that Guangzhou is considerably warmer today. I only got on 1 pair of socks and no slippers.
So true.
But in all seriousness, I think this is making a big difference to the speed of the shuttles.
It is. I think we will see a different complexity to many of the games today compared to the first 3 days because of the fact that the shuttles seem to be faster. So we already saw a lift from Matsumoto that was going way long on the back line. So chances are that we will have more aggressive badminton, and that will be especially good for the doubles.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit of a muddle as to who was to serve. It is indeed Lee So-hee.
I can't believe they got out of that one. The Japanese, they were in severe trouble.
Yeah, missed it.
That is over. 4-6. No change time.
Service error from Matsumoto. Ooh. I thought she was going to stumble
Split decision.
there.
Split decision. Getting out of the way for the shuttle. That was really well left by Shin here.
Yeah, it's good judgment, and I think that is a real sign that it is playing faster today.
Definitely.
Because I thought playing towards the Koreans at the moment was...
Even the slow side, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
That is over. 5-8.
Oh, that's a lovely change of pace. Wonderful, wonderful play from Mayu Matsumoto.
Good interception, and as you say, really taking off the pace of that. This one here, that's really doing the trick. It's really well played. When they won the World Championship in August, she was very much a dominant figure, winning that match and winning that tournament, I would say.
Yeah.
But every day is different. You don't know what today is, so let's see.
That is over. 9-6.
Missed it. Now, I know that you and I have discussed it before, and you've already alluded to it, that Matsumoto is very creative and can be the dominant force on court. She, especially from the net, can be really controlling. But I have to say, I've watched more and more, and I think she's getting really creative on her defensive play as well.
She is, but she's also making these really flat drives as well, and then moving forward. So
Yeah.
she can be very tricky to attack if you're not hitting in a precise place. Then you will get in trouble.
Just long. Yeah.
That is over. 10-7.
It must be said, though, that it was a very good idea, and that attacking clear she made, she was really holding it for a long time before she punched it, and it actually caught Shin off balance. It was going out with a very small margin, but it would have been a very good shot.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's second time.
Got the deflection by hitting the top of the tape as the push was played through. And Nagahara just couldn't readjust her racket in time. Oh Hoon Hui, a Korean coach. I believe he's actually their club coach, because apart from Jae Chan, who's just been appointed as the new head coach in Korea, they don't have any other national coaches at the moment.
No, they're in a transitional period, if you can say
Yes.
that. What was it, 7 coaches resigning on
Yeah.
block.
Yeah.
So they must be having some trouble somewhere in the system.
So a 4-point advantage is a nice little lead, but it's not decisive.
Play.
Yes, as you say, it's nice to have.
Yeah. I don't think I hardly saw any lefts or pushes out the back at this near side of the court as we all looked down the Koreans' end of the court over the first 3 days of competition.
No, it takes a little bit of adjustment. They have to settle in. I'm sure it will be better later on, but they really have to adjust it first.
And it's over 8-12. So no change, nothing. Like,
Little bit of a discrepancy about whether the shuttle should be changed or not. Japanese pair saying no. Well, it was interesting that she attempted such a ambitious shot to block across court. I think she was actually beaten by the power, but I mean, that's terribly difficult from there, isn't it, Morten?
It is a difficult shot. It's an ambitious shot, as you say, but you know, if it's coming off, it would have been a winner.
Absolutely.
Because Nagahara is sort of moving in underneath her partner in order to cover the straight reply. So it would have been a very, very good shot. But I think she actually did it on purpose, because she was shouting to her partner in trying to warn her that I'm playing this clear, because SHIN was actually moving it back even before the shot was hit.
Right.
like.
It's a good return of serve
And it's over
from Nagahara.
13.
Oh, my goodness. That's the second service
And
error
it's over
from Matsumoto.
14. 10.
Yeah, there's no doubt the pressure is on. And for the time being, Matsumoto is not responding too well to it.
Oh, that is delightful. My goodness me, what good play from Shin Seung-chan.
Yeah, she's really putting a lot of power into these interceptions. And that's why the two Japanese are backing off quite a lot, and that's of course opening up for this cross-court smash or cross-court drop shot we just saw here.
Oh yes, that's the drive defence you were talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see if Lee So-hee was not just smashing into the centre of the court the whole time. All her smashes, I would say, 85–90% of the smashes are going towards the centre. Oh, that's another one there.
Yeah.
There's 3 at the centre.
Yeah.
Okay, she's winning it, but all
Yeah.
3 are going into the centre.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a good tactic to try and narrow the angle of reply, but you can't do the same thing over and over again. You've got to vary your shots through it, whether it's singles or doubles or whatever discipline, you've got to vary things.
Yeah, I would like to see, if I was the coach of the Korean pair, that they were a little bit more adventurous when it comes to their attack.
Yeah.
Because it could mean the difference of winning or losing this match.
Mm. Good rally.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Super. Took all the pace out of the shot with her interception there, Lee So-hee. Well, considering how often she smashed down the middle, and that was yet another one.
Yeah.
Japanese pair have got to start looking for it. Three points away from the opening game. It's a lovely change of pace again from Lee So-hee. Look where that's landing. That's way in front of the front service line there, an indication of just how accurate that block was. That's a lovely block. Yeah, you're right, Morten. When it works, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, good work by the Koreans.
Yeah, they have been really, really solid here in this first and opening game.
Yeah.
Played well.
And now a whole host of game point opportunities. Well, it has been 5 straight points. But there's now a mountain to climb as far as Matsumoto and Nagahara are concerned. Opening game, 21-13 for Lee So-hee and Shin Seung-chan. And the world champions, Matsumoto and Nagahara, are going to have to up their game if they want to progress through to tomorrow's final. 19 minutes for the opening game. Sure, Sasaki, the coach there. He was a fine singles player, wasn't he? He was the Japanese #1 for some considerable time.
He was, but he never really made it all the way up on the world ranking.
So, Morten, if you've been down there, what would you have been saying to the world champions to enable them to try and turn this match around?
In my opinion, I think Shin is really playing well, Shin Seung-chan.
Yeah.
And she's adding on a lot of pressure. And somehow they must try to get her out of the equation as much as possible. When she's intercepting, when she's hitting from the back line, whatever, at the back of the court, she's generating a lot of power. So I would put as much pressure as I could on her partner, Lee So-hee, if at all possible.
Oh, it's gone too long.
One love.
And another advantage of doing that we actually saw in France, in Paris, because some partnerships were able to take Shin out of the equation almost completely.
Yeah.
And that meant that Lee So-hee had to play 4 matches almost on her own. And she cramped eventually and couldn't continue, and they had to scratch.
Yeah.
So there are also advantages in that way, that Lee So-hee will be more tired, perhaps making more mistakes and so on.
A smash down the tram line from Lee So-hee.
Yep.
I wonder if the coach has said something about that, Morten.
But we can hope so.
Oh, yes. Oh, the Koreans are playing well.
But what I like is one of what we saw here from Lee So-hee was that flat drive in the defense, again, counter-attacking.
Yeah.
And that opportunity that comes from that counter-attacking, and that's what they win, and that's what they've been really good at today. That's one.
It's a good rally. There's the drive again.
Yeah. This time she didn't follow up. That's another opportunity there. She waited back, she did not follow up on it, and that's why the next block shot they had to lift it again.
Just out. Thank you. It's over. 4-3.
And it's once again Matsumoto that's not able to find the proper length of her lift, this time from the other side of the court.
Oh, snatched at that. And that's perhaps a sign of the nerves. Wow. What a serve.
Yeah, we discussed it so often, you and I, because according to the new ruling, it's impossible for us to say whether that is above or below 115.
Exactly.
So we can only assume that that was below 115 because the service judge did not call it. But it shows that if you really work proactively with your serve, there are good opportunities.
Oh, it's landed in. Well played, turned the whole momentum of the rally. Yeah, it was clever thinking. Back very quickly. Well, quite frankly, at the moment, Morten, I can only see one pair winning this.
Yes, the Korean pair here in the red t-shirts are really dominant, and they do play extremely well today. They believe in their attack, and I think that's the main thing.
Well, it would be pretty phenomenal if they reach a fourth consecutive final in tournaments played. They're not there yet, but a 6-point advantage is a very healthy lead indeed.
She's coming in with tremendous force, SHIN, when she's coming in and intercepting there the net. She's really, really hitting this one hard. The first one here And Nakahara have no reply to it. Really well played by Shin.
Yeah. 8 of the last 9 points. I think their rotational play as well has been very good today. When we watched them in Paris, and you were talking a little earlier about how Lee So-hee got stuck at the back of the court and
All
was
the time.
doing all the work.
Yes.
That's not happened today.
No.
I mean, they've been rotating round. When one does a couple of smashes, the other moves out and one moves forward.
I so would like to believe, oh, excuse me, that they have actually learned from that experience in Paris, because when you and we were doing the commentary on it, I remember I said, I cannot understand that Shin is not trying to help more in this situation.
Yeah.
And now, as you say, the rotational play is so much better.
Yeah. Oh, it's just wide. Yeah, they don't challenge. No, it was out. Good call, line judge. And now I like the placement of that smash towards the right hip of Mayu Matsumoto. What a difference 2 days can make.
Yes, but I do also think that the speed of the shuttles makes a difference.
Sure.
It actually works in favour of the Koreans.
Yeah.
The Japanese pair is better and stronger with slower shuttles.
Yeah.
And suddenly here it's evened out a bit more, and you can see that the Korean pair is winning so many more attacks than what they possibly did 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I did not see that match, to be honest.
I didn't either.
It's over. 6-13.
It was too obvious that the flick serve was coming.
Yes, I think it's a very, very decisive gap now.
8-point advantage.
It's over. 7-14.
Finds the net.
14.
Well, you know, Morton, there's only ever been one pair who've been reigning world champions to win the end-of-year finale. And that was Wang Xiaoli and Yu Yang. In fact, twice won when they were reigning world champions, 2011 and 2012. So, reigning world champions haven't had a particularly good run at these end-of-season championships. This is great rally.
I cannot believe that. It's called in. It's called in. But we have a challenge on it, so let's see.
No, I thought it was in.
Well, that was awesome defense there by Lee So-hee.
No, it was in.
Well spotted. You sounded very convinced.
Yeah, I was sure.
Well spotted.
I've got my new prescription in these glasses, you know, Morton.
Oh, I see. I see.
It's over. 9-15.
I think a couple more points now, and it could become very interesting.
It's funny you say that, because not the second I've said this is a very decisive game. They take 2 points and then they win. The Korean pairs winning that on the challenge, but you know, a few more points here and then it could be very exciting again.
That has well played from Shin Seung-chan. Right into the back corner.
But this smash down the line was really doing the trick for Lee So-hee, and you saw straight away how Shin, she was moving out and getting ready for that straight reply. Just shows that they know one another's game really well.
Overdone it. And that was a softer smash from Matsumoto.
Yeah, she was a little bit off balance. I think it was a very good length on that clear.
Oh, yes. There was a gap, I have to say, deep in the forehand corner of the Koreans. Just couldn't get it over Shin's head. Oh, that's well wide.
18-11.
Just 3 points away from a fourth consecutive final in tournaments played. Oh, there's that serve again.
Yeah, she did it before as well, just the previous one.
18.
But it's definitely making sure that your opponent can't really rush the serve, the low serve, when you have a flick serve like that.
Yeah.
So they're standing back a little bit and not that aggressive on the return of serve when you're serving low. So it's definitely serving a purpose.
Yeah.
Oh.
Brilliant. Well, I don't think I've ever seen Shin Seung-chan. Played quite as well as this. She's absolutely on the top of her game. Hunting the shuttle.
She's moving really fast and extremely decisive in whatever she's doing.
Yeah.
Lead.
2 points away from a place in the final. Oh.
Called in, challenge, called out, challenge.
So the challenge has come from the Koreans.
Yeah.
And after the line judge was indecisive, it was inevitable one.
Yeah,
of
whatever.
The two pairs was getting a challenge. But the line judge made the right call in the end.
Service over 13, 19, play.
Just wide. And it's match point opportunities
20,
for Lee So-hee and Shin Seung-chan. Look, she's gone forward again. And they've done it. They've reversed the result of the group match 2 days ago. And the world champions, Matsumoto and Nagahara, are out. Beaten today by Lee So-hee and Shin Seung-chan. Well, what a performance by the Koreans.
Match won by Lee So-hee, Shin Seung-chan, 21-13, 21-13.
Job well done. My goodness me, that was impressive. 21-13, 21-13. "42 minutes, and they're through to a 4th consecutive final in 4 tournaments played. There's confirmation. 21-13, 21-13.